This is the reset vlog, so we are preparing to go into March and to go into a new season, that being spring. Let's see our weekly quote. It is by somebody who I love a lot of their quotes, and that's Cicero. And this one says, if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. Again, that's coming from Cicero, and I cannot agree more. And I just love the backgrounds on these. It's super pretty. But let's see what I am reading. First, we have what I'm about to get into, and that is Flower Children by Maxine Swan. This is a interconnected short story collection about kids of hippies and what that childhood was like. Next, we had the main focus read of the vlog. I am doing this on Kindle because it was free on Kindle Unlimited, and sometimes I struggle with these older mass market paperbacks. This one wouldn't be too much of a struggle because the spine is very much broken. But this is For All the Right Reasons by Elaine Kaufman. I am going to read the back here. It says, now and for all the right reasons, master storyteller Elaine Kaufman spins a wondrous tale of an unforgettable Texas heroine. Catherine Simon has never stopped loving her childhood sweetheart, not even after he comes home from war determined to marry another woman, her pretty pampered sister Karen. But all will change with the cry of gold from California, a call for a reckless young man to make his fortune and for an irresponsible woman to make a daring journey of the heart. I didn't realize we were going to get the gold rush, you know, picking the gold. Now we have my favorite out of the books I'm reading right now, and that is The Sunshine Girls by Molly Fader. We have the mom of these two sisters dies, and they had the funeral, and a movie star shows up at the funeral, and they're like, how did you know our mom? And she's like, I was in nursing school with your mom in the 60s. And so we, jump out to 1967, and we are seeing these women as they are at nursing school and, during the Vietnam War. And I guess we're going to see how one stayed in the town and one went on to become a movie star, and one went on, I forget what it's called. It was like an army. She's like, the character Jenny, she's a nurse and is like high ranking and will do like a thing for army nurses at their funerals. I'm forgetting what that's called, but we had that one. And then we have my ebook pick that I read a little bit of every day, and that is Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone by Diana Gabaldon. This is a very genre-bending book, but following a family during the American Revolution with some time travel elements involved. Time for the first update, and for all the right reasons, I got to around 40%, so I read about 20-some % a day, so I should finish this in this vlog, and it's given like 2-star vibes. It's not bad, it's just not really doing anything for me. I do have the notes over here on my phone to discuss what I read today. So Adrian, he is one of the brothers, and I feel bad for him because everybody has something going on except him. He's just kind of, I thought of the term earlier, but now I'm blanking on what the term is. But there's a quote from him later on that describes it perfectly. But one thing that I do find confusing with the characters, so we're following 2 sets of siblings. We have Catherine and Karen, and then Adrian and Alex. And I wish the names just didn't start with the same letters, because there's not a whole lot of character development on any of the characters other than Catherine. So I do get kind of confused. Here's a popular quote that was in chapter 5. No, sweet Catherine, we don't. To have loved but been rejected is like being sent to bed with no supper. It's nothing more than a bee bite. Bee bite is kind of weird. To one's spirit, but to love and be overlooked is to die slowly by starvation. Like soap that wastes away, giving up a little of itself with each washing. So that was just a popular quote. And we see at some point that Karen tells Catherine that she doesn't know the ways of the heart. She doesn't know about love, because she's the younger sibling and all that. But then Catherine is saying why, like the cons of the relationship that she's in, and maybe why she shouldn't be in that relationship. And she's like, I know it sounds cold and calculating. And Catherine's like, it is cold and calculating. I'm like, maybe Catherine does know the ways of the heart. Maybe she does. And what is happening in the story, the brothers have just returned from war, and they're all trying to get their homesteads straight. I'm going to talk about the atmosphere in a little bit though. And in chapter 8, it says, how could she have ever felt him anything but indifferent. And I'm like, how will the book make me feel anything but indifferent? Because I am honestly not really caring that much. And in this book, there's a lot of telling and not showing. We're just really getting a lot of in the characters' heads and not actually any action really. And again, that can make it kind of boring. But this is the quote that I think perfectly describes the like romance of this book. The woman he secretly loved was in love with his brother, and his full-headed brother was in love with her sister. So it's kind of a love square, I guess. It says love triangle at some point, but 4 people, 4 corners, that is a square. Or it could be a rectangle, you know, there's a lot of different shapes, but it's not a triangle. Triangle is only 3. Triangle. But I'm not in the Illuminati. One time they asked me to be in it on Instagram, but I didn't reply. I'm joking. I'm not really joking. They really did message me. But with the atmosphere, it's really reminiscent of The Four Winds by Christian Hanna, even though this takes place about 80 years before that. And that's one thing. When I was flipping through to put, you know, my bookmark in, I realized that some of the pages, like sections, will be dated being like August 1850 or whatever. And that is not on the ebook. And oh my gosh, Fred's meowing. I know the cats are about to get dinner. But so the atmosphere reminds me of Four Winds by Christian Hanna. That's taking place during like the Dust Bowl. And this is in Limestone County, Texas in, again, like the 1840s, 1850s. But it's drought, rural homesteads, ranching. Things aren't looking too well for the farms and everything. So it is kind of reminiscent of that. And then there's always that dream of California. This is when the gold rush is happening, and when the Dust Bowl, people were just going west. I don't really know why, but I do know it's because there were jobs and everything out there. But that's how I'm feeling with this. I'm not feeling a whole lot, but I am getting through it pretty quickly, which is nice. It is a bit overwritten. There will be paragraphs that are really long on the ebook anyway. Let me see if, like this. And just for like this kind of story, I don't need that. And again, we're only really getting that development of Catherine and nobody else. And yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about For All the Right Reasons. Probably going to unhaul this, especially since I have the ebook. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you guys are interested in picking this book up for some reason, it is available on Kindle Unlimited, so you can read it for free. And since this is from like 1991, I am sure your library probably has a copy, since it is quite old and has been around a while, but that's my update. As this is a reset, the first reset thing we're going to do is go through the books I read this month, see which ones I'm keeping, see which ones I'm unhauling. For example, Binding 13 I will be unhauling. What I'm going to do is put my business card to my YouTube channel in the book, and those books will go to little free libraries. Now, books like Old Rock that I'm keeping, I'm going to put my stamp in saying this book belongs to me, so if it ever goes missing, it can get back in my hands.
Lighten up, take me on your magic river. Tell me all your dreams align. Sign me up and tell me about the people that you know who are trying to feel alive. So honey, if you need to cry, just come share my pillow and rain, rain, go away.
Now I'm going to be moving my March TBR up here to the top of the cart because that is the next video that I'm going to be filming. The top of the cart is to feature the books. happy Tuesday. So I have like 2 little updates. Why is the camera open to the phone? But okay, I have 2 little updates for y'all. So I got to 80% in Flower Children. This is 3-star vibes. It's good for the vibes, as in I would recommend, one, this is like a summer book, even though we do have all the seasons featured, but I mean, look at that cover. That's a summer book. And when I think it might have been last week's vlog, where I was like, it's all told from like the same perspective, and then like right after I said that, the story I read wasn't. So there's only like 1 story so far that is told from the 3rd person rather than the 1st person, which I thought was kind of strange thing to do when you're already, you know, like halfway into a book. Weird. But this is really just, I talked about with one of you guys in the comments about how, yes, it is about these kids growing up in Pennsylvania and their parents were hippies going to concerts and all that. Yes, it says they went to concerts. It says they went to protest. It doesn't really show you those things, because it seems like all those things are in the past. I mean, now we're in like the Reagan years, and I probably shouldn't do that because there's probably creeps out there. I'm just thinking of what I want to say. So yes, these are children of hippies, but I think this is really just, you can relate it to any like childhood memories of just playing outside in the summertime. And then they are obviously seeing like the chaotic like friends of their parents and all that, like chaotic, not in a bad way, but you know, just like really eccentric kind of people. And I do think this is good on the vibes. Like, it does give you that nostalgia for childhood and really shows what being a kid is like, and being a kid who loves to play outside, play rough, play dirty, that kind of thing. So I would say this is a 3-star. I do like it, and I would recommend you pick it up. Maybe get it from the library or something. I mean, I got this secondhand, so I got it pretty cheap as well, but getting it from the library or something, and if you love it, then you can, you know, purchase your own copy. But I do think it's good. I will probably unhaul it because I don't see myself rereading it, but I do think it's a happy, good time, you know? And then I did get a gift from a subscriber in the mail on Sunday. I know I'm always getting the fan mail on Sundays, and I'm like, why can't they wait for a day that I'm vlogging? Because I've just had it sitting here because I've wanted to show you. Also, just this bracelet that is like a tennis bracelet. It's from like a sports brand. I had it on my wish list, but I know, like, sorry, you're supposed to wear this when you play tennis. I'm not sure, but I haven't. I wanted to just show y'all. So thank you to the person who got me that. The brand is Pavoy, I guess is how you say that. I'm gonna put it back in here so when I take it to my jewelry places, it will be safe and not scratched up. So yes, thank you to the person who got me that from my Amazon wish list. Thank you very much, because the list is there for a reason. I feel like so many people just like don't acknowledge it or don't know it exists, because people will be like, I don't know what to get you, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I have this Amazon wish list on like every single video I upload. But really, I don't need anything. I have way too much as it is, so when I get something, it's only just a nice little reminder that people are great, people are kind, and that kind of thing. But I'm gonna go clean now and then probably eat some lunch after that, because I am kind of hungry. I've had breakfast and everything, but I'm, you know, hungry, and when I'm hungry I eat, because that's how it works. So we're gonna mop floors, clean the mirrors, and I did clean up some of my plants today, because again, the high today is like 75. It is kind of chilly because there's a breeze, but I have been waiting to clean up the plants for once it gets warm outside, since sometimes there's going to be water and all involved, and you know, that can be cold, and we do not like the cold here. Super happy with the warm weather, but I'm gonna go do everything I said I was gonna do, and then probably go outside some. We really have like all the bookish things going on over here. I have my planner, my phone, my pen, Kindle, book. There's a lot going on, but I got to where I wanted to get to for the day. I read 74 pages, getting me up to, I don't remember what percent that is, like 50 something percent, but that's where I am in the physical copy of the book. So over halfway. That's great to be that far. The Kindle, you know, we're reading on the Kindle. I need to get the notes open on my phone. I read it on the Kindle, not my phone, but I think for notes. Just, it's easier and more accessible to do it on the phone. The touch screen just works better. I don't have to have the stylus. STYLUS. It's just easier to see it on the phone, and I mean the app's free and everything, so it's not, a real pain. But let's see, we started on chapter 10 is where we started for the day. And for like rating, I'm still feeling the same on that. But I did like our first sentence of the day, that time passed like a bird overhead, leaving nothing behind but its shadow. I'm like, ooh, that is really pretty. I like that a lot. And with the plot, what's happening, we have our California, the gold rush part of the plot line happening now. So the guys they've left again. They got back to Texas after the war. I think it might be the Texas American War. I'm not 100% sure. Texas friends, tell me in the comments what war would have been happening in like the 1840s in Texas. And so the guys, they get back from the war, and it's just, there not a whole lot is happening because it's very drought. So their farming isn't doing a lot for them, but then so during this war, America got Texas, New Mexico, and California, and some of those like may encompass other states. So just know that's what they were called back then, but you could have parts of like Oklahoma, Colorado, wherever now. But those were the three like territories that they got. So California is new, and they discover gold in California, and new for, being a part of America. So they discover gold in California, and that's, everybody, that's why they're called the San Francisco 49ers. Everybody went there because of the gold. And that is what happens. The brothers are like, well, we're not having a lot of luck in Texas. Let's go to San Francisco and see if we make money there. And so they leave. They're gone for like 2 years. And we are back to where this story started again, of the women being on their own on the homestead, and the men being away and waiting, not longing for these men, some longing, some not. And it's just the same thing that happened in the first half of the book. We're having it, or in the first quarter of the book, is happening all over again. We had that brief bit of respite in the second quarter, but in the third quarter, it's seeming to be like the same thing all over again. And yeah, so why go in circles? I would have just written that differently. And this is something I can relate to just on the internet. One thing bothered Catherine more than their dire circumstances, and that was being approached for courting. I find myself in like male dominated spaces, whether it be like sports or video games, and men just will come at me unexpectedly, like, wanting a relationship, and I'm like, what? That's not what I'm here for. I'm here just to talk sports and play video games, not trying to get a relationship. So I definitely can feel for Catherine there. And then this is a popular quote in chapter 12. My dearest Catherine, can't wait any longer to ask you to marry me. We'll arrange passage to San Francisco and meet you there. Please don't disappoint me. And I'm not going to read the rest because I feel like it could be spoilers. So we were just talking about Catherine with courting, and now somebody's asking her all of that. But yes, I thought of this yesterday, but I couldn't remember the names. This is definitely like Jacob waited 7 years to marry Rachel and was tricked into marrying her sister. And I thought of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel's story. I thought of that, which the red tent, I love the red tent. It's basically a retelling of that biblical story. And I've read other books that are retellings is not done as well. But this was definitely giving me that vibe of, you have all these siblings and they're all like in love, it's different sets of siblings for different families in love with each other, and that it was just very similar to that. And this is a story that's been told before. Again, this is the romance genre. There's a formula to how romance works, but this is not bringing anything new to the table. But again, I do think the setting is pretty cool because I haven't really read anything with the gold rush and then the like Mexican-American War. That was all new for me. And again, it really reminds me of Four Winds by Christian Hanna. This is still a reset, so we are about to go through the books that I hauled in February, and some books that I like picked up at my storage unit to put them on my bookcase over here and to see if there's audiobooks or ebooks that are free with my subscriptions, because you know we want to take advantage of having those subscriptions and actually be using them. So I will be sorting through these books, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this clip. Oh my. We're all good. I totally just fell down. That's why I really need to get all this junk out of here.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow, I think I'll chew it. I wish I knew how much I miss not
That is after I eat dinner, we'll put them on the shelf. Okay, basically we're gonna have to, I debated if I should just start the genres over, or, you know, if we move and rearrange with the books that are already up here. I think we're just gonna do the start over. I've gum in my mouth, but I think we're still going to start over with contemporaries, classics, and so forth.
No, oh no, no. Hold on, girl, now wait just a minute. I've got something. Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laugh so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Guys, y'all know I fell down in the clip yesterday, and I just did coming to sit over here. Like, can they make Uggs and half sizes? Because this is a 7 when I'm a 6.5. I probably shouldn't be saying feet sizes, or shoe sizes, but I keep like going like that. So I'm gonna probably break my ankle at one point. Like, knock on wood that doesn't happen. If I have socks on, it's fine. But then I saw on Reddit that apparently you're not supposed to wear socks with Uggs because of the sheep stuff or whatever. Who knew? But putting that back on. I did go to Target today, as y'all would have seen at the start of the video. I got Atomic Habits. I don't remember who the author is, but literally like over 1 million people have shelved it on Goodreads, and this book is about forming good habits, breaking bad habits, which I think that I am pretty decent at that already. My bad habits would be just getting in my head, like all the book characters we read. It would just be like comparing myself to others and that kind of thing, which we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. That it was exactly 2 weeks ago actually, that's something you shouldn't do, because everything is beautiful and great in its own way. But since that book seems to be so profound and impactful to people, I do want to pick it up because it could be impactful for me. You never know. But I did get to around 80% into, for all the right reasons. I don't have a lot of updates to my knowledge with this. I'm still feeling pretty much the exact same. It's not doing anything for me. And they're talking about like how she's never had a kiss like this before, and what's happening with the plot. The romance has actually happened, and it's kind of just, I don't understand how we got in this predicament. I don't really have an understanding of that. But we the couple, they are kissing, and she says she's never been kissed like that before, but I'm like, where is the chemistry? Our male character is one-dimensional, so our two other characters, Catherine being one, I'm not going to say the other, but one of the brothers, I think, do have good building to them, but everybody else is just so one-dimensional, and so I don't feel the chemistry between these characters, any of them, at all. And again, we have one of our guys, our love interests, leaving again for 2 weeks. That is just something that keeps happening in this book. Those are my notes on For All the Right Reasons. I should be able to finish it tomorrow. I have about 90 pages left, and I read 87 today, so I do think it's absolutely doable for me to finish this book tomorrow. Gold, rose gold, I don't know. Guys, happy Thursday, and we have finished our first book of the day. This is a day where I'm like, we're finishing books today. And what I finished was Flower Children by Maxine Swan. I'm giving this like a 3.25 star because the ending was so bittersweet of the, sorry about the dog barking, but about the nostalgia of childhood and going back to those places as an adult, but like going back to the places of your childhood and seeing them as an adult, seeing that the world maybe wasn't as big as you thought it was, and it's just seeing the world with different eyes than the eyes you had as a child. And that is such a bittersweet feeling that I loved it, and I think anybody can relate to that. This was a really good collection of just, if you are somebody longing for the nostalgia of childhood, just wanting to see the world through the eyes of a child, then this would be the book for you. So yeah, I liked it, but it's not a new favorite or anything, but I did enjoy this book and would recommend it. Now, I'm not going to start another collection kind of book until March, until next week's vlog, or yeah, well, it will be March 1st, which is Saturday. I don't vlog on Saturdays. It is a big one. I discovered this when I saw a post about books from, it was like books of all different genres from Indigenous authors, and this is Dawnland Voices, an anthology of Indigenous writing from New England, edited by, I never know how to say this name, Sibohan Sanier. So it's just a collection of literature from Native Americans in New England. I'm looking here at the back. It's from the University of Nebraska Press, which I've heard great things about that press. Sorry, the way the light was. I was checking what was happening there. But this is really long, like over 600 pages it's looking like, but I obviously read to experience different things, and I am not from New England and only a tad Indigenous American, so this is going to be super interesting to read. And again, I will be starting this on Saturday. I'm just seeing, I am intimidated by this, I'm not going to lie, because there's just a lot that is going on here. Okay, we have several introductions, I guess, and it seems like it's an educational book since it's from New England Press, or not New England Press, Nebraska, University of Nebraska Press. I don't know, but I will be starting this on Saturday. But now I need to take my pictures for Bookstagram, write my review, do my book journaling for Flower Children. So I think this is the 8th book I have finished this month. And we have finished book 2 of the day, finishing For All the Right Reasons by Elaine Kaufman. Again, I have not done Call Pal yet, so I do not know what I am going to rate this book, but I do want to go through my thoughts so far on it, or not so far, give you all my thoughts before I write my written review. Let's go through Call Pal. I don't know all what I said before that. I don't know. I'm kind of scatterbrained, I guess. The characters are obviously where we're going to start. And I do think so none of these side characters are extremely developed, but I mean, they were kind of likable. But when you get into this book for the first time, it can be kind of confusing of telling who's who, just because the characters are siblings, so therefore, you know, have the same last names. You know, our two female characters are siblings, our two male characters are siblings. They are not related to each other though, but their first names start with the same letters, and that was really confusing trying to get an understanding of who is who. But the more time you do spend with the characters, you do get that understanding. But Catherine is our most developed character. I think all the other characters were kind of flat and one-dimensional, and their actions didn't really make a ton of sense. And then with Catherine, I still wouldn't say she's an incredibly strong character, but I didn't hate these characters. I didn't love them either, so I'm going to give the character work a 2-star. The atmosphere was my favorite part. I would give it a 3-star on atmosphere, as it didn't play a huge part of the story, but I did learn about a new period and learn about like the 49ers. I guess that is what you would call the people who went in 1849 to be to be gold miners in California, and what happened to those people after they got all the gold. What do you do after that? What do you do once you get those riches? What kind of business ventures do you go into? What's your family life like? And I did really find that intriguing with the atmosphere and all of that. And we were in Humboldt Bay, I think is how you say that, which is it's like everything like north of San Francisco. I have driven through there, but on the 5, so mind you, that's where I was. But I do think that area is really interesting because there's not a whole lot up there. I think California is the most populous state, but that little section up there is not very populated at all. It's very just rural, mountains, forest, and that kind of thing, farmland. So I do think that is, volcanoes even are up there. I like that atmosphere. That's always been an area that since I've been there has intrigued me, and I'm kind of scared by it too. Mount Shasta, there's all like aliens and Bigfoot and ghost stories all over there, so that's kind of scary for me. But so I don't know if I really want to go to like Mount Shasta, but I like to read about it, so I did like the setting. The writing, there was some really like good instances of writing here, but I will say, I don't know if overwritten would be the right word, but a lot of our plot points just happened again and again. We were going in circles with that, and it was a lot of telling, not showing, and I just think it was very surface level writing. And I do know this is a romance, and people are like, romance isn't that serious, but I would have just liked more for the historical elements, I guess. But you know, obviously this is a romance, so the romance of the story was the main emphasis here. But that being said, I did not feel, I should have talked about this for the characters, I didn't feel the chemistry between the characters. But during our spicy scenes, I could definitely feel that tension, and that was really good. The spicy scenes were really well written, and it's not too erotica or anything. Like, this was published in 91, which I'm sure there was like really, really steamy erotica coming out then. But now, like, this is not extremely spicy compared to other things, but just the tension and everything, it was like, oh my gosh, between these two characters, it was really good, the tension. And I wouldn't even say just between those two characters. I do think, yeah, I'm not gonna go into that because that could lead to spoilers. But with the plot, this didn't bring anything new to the table. I do think this is going to be kind of forgettable, but I did like the setting. And I do think if you like The Four Winds by Christian Hanna, again, it's like the 3rd time I've said it, I think that you might like the setting of this one. It's Texas history and California history, just like with The Four Winds, except this is a romance rather than a straight up historical fiction book. So it's sounding, oh, I didn't give ratings for the writing and plot and everything, but with the plot, it did go some places that I didn't expect it to go, and, you know, that's only as fun when a book can do that. And this is going to follow a formula still, but I do think it is a bit more unpredictable than the typical romance formula. Maybe it's more like long division rather than addition. But with the writing, I'd give the writing a 3. The plot, I would give it 2 for being forgettable. And then with intrigue and logic, I never know what to do for that, so that's just gonna have to wait. So I'd say this is somewhere in the 2-star category by all that. But we're going to wrap up the vlog. Like, what am I going to read now that I finished that? Now, the month only has 2 more days left. And these are the books left on my TBR. 2 tomes. I'm not sure if this one's a tome, but this is all I have left. And I know that I cannot finish one of these books in 2 days, much less 2 of these books in 2 days. So what am I going to do? I would be doing this as an ebook because I'm pretty sure it is on Kindle Unlimited. This I am probably going to do the audiobook for just because it's nonfiction and that's what I would feel like doing for that. So what am I going to read over the weekend? I'm going to go with Challenger because this was a Texas romance book. This is also a Texas romance book. I don't want to read those too closely together, so I did not plan my month well. So I will be reading Challenger over the weekend. And oh, look at those end pages. Is that it blowing up or just taking off? I don't know, but let's see if this is actually a tome. It might not be. Selected bibliography, notes. Yeah, this is not quite a tome, but it does get pretty close to being one. I don't read acknowledgements. Oh, there's what makes up a space shuttle. So yeah, this is 457 pages. This is what I'm going to read over the weekend. And then on Monday, so the sneak peek for next week's vlog, we are going to be doing the book club vlog. I know since there wasn't a 5-star prediction this month, we are kind of changing up the schedule and going right into reading the book club pick here. And it is a Little Liar. I don't know if it's A or the. We're getting up here on Fable. So again, if you would like to join the book club, the link is always down below. But the book we're going to be reading is The Little Liar by Mitch Albom. I've never read one of his books, but so many of his books intrigue me. And where's the search option on this site? The Little Liar. I'm not going to read like the full description at the back of the book. We will save that for next week's vlog. But The Little Liar. March is going to be a historical fiction reading month, to let y'all know. So this, what I know about it, and let me just tell y'all a few details. It's 352 pages in length and was released in 2023. And the author is narrating the audiobook himself, and that's always really cool. So just to let y'all know if you want to have the audiobook experience. And this book is available at Target because I know generally most people live near a Target, so you can find it there. But libraries and all, obviously. So what my understanding of this book is, we are in Greece during World War II when the Holocaust is happening. And we have, I'm getting the character's name right here, 11-year-old Nico Crispus. So Nico's never told a lie. And I think these like soldiers or SS or whatever tell him that they are sending these people on trains to like better lands or whatever, and they're actually going to send to concentration camps. So he tells all these people, he's like, yeah, you need to go on these trains and blah, 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 because again, he's never told a lie. So he doesn't know that he is lying to them. He's telling somebody else's lie, and he is sending his family and everybody he's ever known to concentration camps. And I think they let him live since he helped them help the Nazis get all those people going to concentration camps. That my jaw dropped when I heard about this book. It was on TikTok, I don't remember whose, but when I heard the description of that story, my jaw dropped and I had to tell everybody I knew about it. Like even when I bought this book, I made my dad read the blurb or the description or whatever, because I was like, oh my gosh, how do you come to terms with that you did that? And it being an 11-year-old boy, a little boy. So this is definitely sounding like it's going to be an impactful read. On Fable, it has an average rating of a 4.52, which is extremely high. So that's what we're going to be reading next week in next week's vlog. But yeah, let's do our weekly wrap up. I've read over 100 pages, over 110 pages actually every day this week. I've completed 2 books that will be highlighted once I'm done filming this clip. I just didn't have my highlighter with me. So I completed 2 books, that being The Flower Children and For All the Right Reasons. And then I hauled 1 book, being Atomic Habits, and that was $18.90. Yeah, that's something I was watching somebody's haul today. And I was like, oh yeah, buying books at like firsthand, like new books. I'm like, man, it's expensive when I can go to Goodwill and get a book for $1 or go to a little free library. As y'all saw, I went to the Holly and Jolly one and then the one at Lucas Park. But we've had a pretty good reading week. None of these books that I have finished have been great, but they weren't bad either, and that's all you can ask for sometimes. So I'm gonna go take pictures for Bookstagram, write my review, do all of that fun stuff. But I will see you guys in next week's video. If you made it through this whole video, leave a heart emoji in the comments below, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I totally meant to, in this vlog, work on my Kindle. So if you stayed, like, work on the background. So, you know, what, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So maybe stay after the beep. There's no beep, but you know what I mean.